Hey everyone, Dr. Crahay here. In this video, I'll be discussing the core ethical principles, including respect for persons, the principle of beneficence, and the principle of justice. So largely in response to some of these studies that we've discussed that really kind of walked all over people's rights, the Belmont Report came to be. So in this report, basically it was 1976, a group of people came together to have a rather intense discussion of the aspects, the ethics of research. And so they wrote a report based on their discussions over those few days to kind of outline what kinds of things we should be thinking about in research. So the first one here is the principle of respect for persons. So this is basically saying that people or participants should be treated as autonomous agents. So they should be able to make up their mind of their own accord if they would like to participate in the study. So you should give them all of the information related to the study and tell them, you know what, if you want to leave, you have freedom to leave. This also has to do with some special populations. So one common special population is children. So of course, putting children into a research situation, they don't have the same kind of autonomy that an adult would. So you have to put special protections. Usually this involves parental consent. If you're using prisoners, for example, you need to have someone to represent them and make sure that their needs are being cared for as well. So you really have to have a respect for the person. We also have the principle of beneficence. So this is just saying that we researchers need to protect participants from undue harm. So we have to let them know, we have to let participants know, what are the benefits of this study to you personally. We usually also let them know the benefits to society in general, and then if they're going to undergo any harm, we should let them know. So in the syphilis study, of course, this principle was not followed at all. Those participants were not informed. They were not even given respect, that first principle. So you can kind of see where these stemmed directly from real life consequences. So principle of beneficence, we have to take precautions to ensure the safety of the participants and make sure that we don't harm them unjustly. Which leads me to the principle of justice. So here we have to balance the kinds of people who participate in the research and those that benefit from it. So again, thinking of the syphilis study, the participants were all African Americans. However, people in general can get syphilis, and so everyone would benefit from the results of the study. Unfortunately, this one particular group of people had to take on all of the harm. That violates the principle of justice. So if it could benefit everyone, of course we should have a representative sample so that everyone bears that weight. Much of these principles, they'll be covered in what's called an informed consent form. And so that form, you'll get it at the beginning of a research study, and it will outline, how will this benefit you, how will it benefit society, and it will tell you usually of any harm that might come to you. So every principle in the Belmont Report has an application. So again, our three principles: respect for persons, beneficence, and justice. So respect for persons, here it says informed consent. So that's where we outline, so it's just usually, hopefully just one single page, maybe 2 pages, outlining, how will this benefit you, how will this benefit society, how will this harm you, and usually gives a general kind of description of the study so that people know what they're getting into, and they can make an informed decision if they want to continue to participate. Again, protection of vulnerable populations. So if you're studying children, if you're studying inmates, if you're studying anyone with intellectual disabilities or any mental health issues, those are all considered vulnerable populations, and they require extra steps basically, in the research process. Beneficence, you'll do a cost-benefit analysis for participants, also for society. So I keep thinking of a study that we did where you have to, so you get a bucket of ice water, right? And participants have to dunk their hand in this bucket of ice water for as long as they can. And so it's a stress test, right? We were interested in how blood pressure was increasing, how heart rate was increasing, and then something a little bit different called heart rate variability, which I won't get into. But it was a pretty, I don't know, once you do that, it gets to be pretty painful. I don't know if you've ever done that or jumped into an icy pool or anything, but it can be fairly painful on you. When you compare that to the benefit to society, so because of that study, we got a better understanding of what happens to the heart under stress and under physical pain. So that really helped society. It harmed you a little bit, but overall it was more help than it was harm. In the syphilis study, a lot of these people actually died because they were kept from a treatment that worked. I'm not sure that society benefited. I'm not sure that society could benefit enough to warrant someone's death. So you really have to weigh the individual harm versus societal benefit. And so that's what beneficence is getting at. Justice, again, you've really got to choose your sample to represent the people that it will benefit. So again, if you're looking at a syphilis cure, it will benefit everyone, every race, ethnicity, age, wherever you live, your income, all of those kinds of things. So you should choose from that population to do your study. So that's the principle of justice. So this is an excellent graph really showing how we have to balance the risk to participants to the benefit to society. So the risk to participants down there on the bottom, going from low risk on the left there to high risk on the right. On the left, or the y-axis, we have the benefit to society, low benefit down low, high benefit up top. And so in this graph you can see low risk, low benefit, question mark, should we do the study? Maybe. Kind of a hard call. An easier call, high risk to participants, low benefit to society, don't do the study. It's unethical. If you have low risk to participants, high benefit to society, definitely do the study. If it is a high risk to participants, a high benefit to society, again, that's where it gets really, really difficult. So these are some of the ethical issues that researchers have to try to balance as we conduct our research.